In this building challenge, I'm going to be randomly selecting 9 blocks to build with in Minecraft. I'm going to be using this Google spreadsheet, which is based on the Minecraft Wikipedia and lists every single placeable Minecraft block from 1 to 464. In order to randomly select blocks from this list, I'm going to use Google's random number generator to generate 9 different numbers. Each of these numbers will then correspond to a specific block on the spreadsheet. I'll click the generator to see what the first number is and then find the block on the spreadsheet. Looks like the first number is 177. If I go back to the spreadsheet and find this number, we can see that it corresponds to black stained glass. I'll put this block in my inventory and continue doing this process until I have a full hotbar of different blocks. To not make this video too long, I'm just going to summarize what blocks I got from doing this process 8 more times. These are the following blocks that were randomly selected: daylight sensors, pumpkin stems, magma blocks, red stained glass, snow blocks, nether brick stairs, bricks, and mossy cobblestone. Now that I have all of the blocks, I need to find out what I'll actually be building. To do this, I'm going to be spinning this wheel of 25 different building options that have been suggested for me to build. Looks like the build for this video is going to be a wizard tower. I'm actually pretty excited for this, so let's get started. The first thing that I'll do is start with the foundation of my tower. Since most wizard towers are round, I'm going to be starting with a circular base using the mossy cobblestone. I'm gonna pick this side to be the front of the tower and make a little staircase to get to the first floor. There's a cool thing that I learned about Minecraft stairs where you can place an upside down stair of any type and it appears like a regular block from the outside. I'm using this strategy for the nether brick stairs and I plan on doing this throughout the build. To finish off the foundation, I'll quickly add some windows and then work on the basement floor. I created a layer of mossy cobblestone and then placed a layer of black stained glass on top of this just to add some more detail. I have a plan for this build where I want each subsequent floor to be made out of glass, so you can look all the way down from the very top. The floors will all be connected via this spiral staircase in the center of the build. Since the foundation is now done, I really need to make a plan for the rest of this wizard tower. I'm thinking that I'll use the magma blocks for the corners of this tower and then fill in the walls with the rest of the blocks. This idea seems pretty good to me, so I'm going to start implementing this on the first floor. Using the nether brick stairs and red stained glass, I made some cool window designs on 3 out of the 4 sides. On the last side, I made a nether brick overhang to signify the entrance of the wizard tower. I added magma blocks to the corners and then took a step back to see how it looks. Honestly, I think this is pretty decent so far. The bricks, magma blocks, and nether brick stairs all go well together. Time to start on the second floor. I created huge windows made out of red stained glass on every side, but went back later to mix in some black stained glass. In the corners, I kept up with the magma blocks and also made some good looking designs by placing nether brick stairs on top of each other. Like I said earlier, I want each story to have a glass floor, so that's what I'm doing here. I built up the spiral staircase through this floor and I'm using the snow blocks to act as a border around the staircase. To finish the second story, I'll just add some nether brick stairs on the top. Time to start on floor number 3. I'm feeling much more confident about this floor. I think I'll use most of the same building styles from the previous floor on this section of the build. I want this floor to be taller than the last 2, so I made a 13 block tall brick window frame surrounded by nether brick stairs on all 4 sides. I built up the corners with the usual magma blocks and also used nether brick stairs to connect each window frame. The designs on this floor are pretty simple, but I still think I can move on to the next story. I decided to make the 4th floor the tallest floor by far. I made window frames out of bricks that were 20 blocks high and filled in the corners with 2 towers of magma blocks. These walls are absolutely huge, so I'm really hoping I'll have enough details to make this look good. I started by using nether brick stairs on the outside of each window frame. I placed the stair front side up, then upside down, and continued this pattern on each side for a total of 8 times. I now needed to fill in the windows on each side. The problem here was that I made this story 20 blocks tall, which is an even number. For this reason, I had a lot of trouble making symmetrical windows. After some trial and error, I was finally able to find a pattern that worked. I used red stained glass for the windows and then created 3 nether brick stair dividers to separate each window. I think this looks good, so I'm going to replicate this on all other sides. After doing that, I just need to build up the spiral staircase through this floor and I'm done. On to floor number 5. Since this tower is already quite tall, I'm going to have this 5th floor be the final floor of this build. I wanted to make huge windows on each side, so I got started creating some window frames. I used magma blocks in the corners and created small overhangs and designs on the walls using nether brick stairs. I then went back and added glass. I experimented with a couple different different glass designs, but ended up just using all black stained glass. For the roof, I wanted to make it long and pointy. There was a ton of trial and error involved here. I originally thought a brick roof would look good, but quickly realized that that was not true. I destroyed that and started over. My next plan was to focus on using mostly nether brick stairs with some magma blocks mixed in. This idea was much better. The roof almost ended up being a floor of itself, just because of how tall it is. I completed it with a single daylight sensor, which is the only one in this entire build. So, the wizard tower is done, but I still haven't used all of the blocks. I came back around to the front of the build and added a mossy cobblestone pathway along with a pumpkin farm. Since you can't place a pumpkin stem by itself, I thought it would be fine if I just created a small little farm with water and dirt. After doing that, I'm officially done. The wizard tower looks great in my opinion. The blocks that make up all of the floors go surprisingly well together, and I think I nailed the height and shape of this build. I still think the roof could use a little work, but I'm satisfied with it. What do you think about this build? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in my next building challenge.